A very good evening, and I hope you're doing well. My name is Gloria Mutesi, and it's my pleasure to present the news to you today. Starting as of tonight, the Kanyinya Covid-19 Treatment Center now stands empty, while countrywide, only 14 people are currently hospitalized because of the virus. The figures have been giving hope that life could be close to returning to normal as the pandemic continues to recede. Sessionary begins our coverage tonight.
On New Year's Day, the Kanyinya Covid-19 Treatment Center was very busy, and worryingly so, because the number of hospitalized patients was 45 and climbing, with some critically ill, and there were fatalities. Elini Shoborabyose was so sick when he was taken there, he does not remember the journey. He says he has no illusions about the fact that he is lucky to be alive.
Abana banjye barabaye imfubyi, mudamu wanjye yarabaye umupfakazi.
My children almost became orphans and my wife was almost widowed. That did not happen because the government played its part. I therefore urge all Rwandans to heed government programs because we stand to benefit more than it does. My family and I are grateful that I did not die, and I urge all people to respect the preventive measures the government has put in place because all it is doing is looking out for us the way a parent would. Thankfully, those preventive measures appear to be working because the once bustling Kanyinya Center now stands empty.
Uwanyuma twamusezereye ejo hashize ariko urebye muri rusange
The last patient was discharged yesterday and the number of people being hospitalized had continued to steadily fall over the last 2 weeks, and 3 days ago we had only 2 patients left. As you can see for yourselves, today we have none, and we are not expecting any more to come in, basing on the way things have been going. In general, the pandemic has receded significantly with this latest variant. That, however, is no reason for people to become complacent because no announcement has been made that COVID has been defeated.
Ariko ntabwo byakabaye impamvu yo kwirara kuko bataratangaza ko COVID yashize mu bantu.
Communities living around the Kanyinya Treatment Center, that was once a regular local health center, say they would like to have it back because going elsewhere has been proving very difficult. Getting treatment is very hard for us because we have to use the Sharongi Health Center and the one at Tawa, Rwakivumu, but some old women are unable to get that far. Even by bus, you still get off around 200 meters from the health center itself, and that is too far for most sick people to walk. They should just give the Kanyinya Health Center back to us if there are no more COVID patients there, because it doesn't help just us, but the people living on Jari as well, because all they had to do was cross the valley to get here, which is easy. Across the country, only 14 people remained hospitalized because of COVID-19 as of Saturday, none of them critical. The positivity rate for new infections was just 0.1%. with 17 new cases detected and no hospitalizations that day. There had been only 7 hospitalizations over the entire week, again, none of them critical.
Staying in the health sector, and in particular COVID-19 site managers involved at the COVID-19 different sites, vaccination sites in Kigali, are calling upon all residents who haven't yet received their second dose and booster shot to actively participate in the vaccination activities, as this will boost their immunity. Most of the places where COVID-19 vaccinations are ongoing are at sites that were established for residents who have easy access. Most sites now have small numbers of people as compared to before. A couple of people we found at these sites who had come to get their shots shared how they have now come to understand the importance of being vaccinated. Getting 2 doses without the booster shot is not being fully vaccinated, which is why I decided to come for the booster shot so I can fully protect myself.
I just received my booster shot. I chose to be vaccinated because I know how greatly the pandemic affected us. Hence, why we have to protect ourselves, and all people should be vaccinated.
Some of the site managers say that these mobile vaccination sites helped reach so many people, and they are calling for those that haven't received their second and third doses to take advantage of the mobile sites because it's for their own benefit.
Bringing
the vaccinations close to them helped them a lot because people are now more glad they don't have to make long distances. For instance, if someone had to go to Nyabugogo to get the vaccine, they can now get it here instead. Dr. Menelas Nhishimana from the COVID-19 Task Force says that COVID-19 vaccinations and continuous adherence to COVID regulations have had a positive impact towards life returning to normalcy.
guhindura imyumvire tukumva inkingo ko ari imwe mu ntwaro nyamukuru zo guhashya icyorezo.
Changing our perspective towards vaccines and understanding that they are a weapon in fighting this pandemic, as well as continuing with the adherence of other guidelines such as wearing face masks and hand hygiene, is what helped us overcome the fourth wave of the pandemic quickly, because people were able to understand how to protect themselves from the virus. And if we continue this way, it could help us return to normalcy.
Bikadusatisha kujya mu buzima busanzwe.
682,000 people have received their first jab. 7,446,000 have received both the first and second jabs, while 1,291,000 people have received the booster jab. Mobile vaccination sites are one of the measures the government put in place to achieve its goal of vaccinating at least 70% of the eligible population by June 2022. And away from Kigali, as a way of finding a solution to the problem of wild animals that kill cattle near the Gishwati-Mukura National Park in Ngororero district, farmers are being encouraged to build cow barns. Pasturages located near the Gishwati-Mukura Park are mainly in the sectors of Kavumu, Muhanda and Sovu. To date, 17 calves have been attacked by wild animals, 7 of which have been treated, while 10 of them have died. Farmers in the area are happy that various authorities are now helping them to solve the problem, which has been prevalent since 2019.
The issue is very pressing to all farmers because animals come and kill our cattle. It happens in different areas. They're showing us how to build cow barns that are strong. We are happy about this, and we are definitely going to do it. Those cow barns are stronger, and we are sure that they will help us to protect our cattle from those animals. The government sent guards to help us, and we are really happy.
Ngororero District Mayor Nkusi Christophe has noted that building cow barns is one of the temporary solutions to the problem, as a sustainable solution to separate the park from pasturages around it is still being figured out.
We have a lot of measures, including building strong cow barns and also encouraging them to live near their cattle so that they can intervene in case of an emergency. We also encourage them to insure their cattle so that they can always be compensated in case of such circumstances. All these pasturages are near the Gishwati-Mukura National Park, and RDB is doing what is necessary so that the national park can be separated from the pasturages. But before we get a sustainable solution, we are doing all that is necessary to protect our cattle.
Ngororero District has about 397 pasturages that borders Gishwati National Park and are home to more than 13,000 cattle. And moving on, the Minister of Local Government asserts that the citizen role in planning and policy making increases their role in development projects and activities meant to boost their living standards, as well as giving them an assignment to follow up on the implementation of those projects. As Sam Kalisa now reports, receiving public opinions on state planning also helps in identifying what needs to be improved in the development of the country.
Rwanda has made it a priority to put citizens at the center of governance, implying that all activities must be done to solve the problems they have. Thus, during the preparation and allocation of the national budget, dialogues are carried out all over the country so that citizens can decide priority projects to be put on the top list of the state's projects to be implemented. A program to take children who have dropped out of school back to school has started. They also built a labor ward for us. Today, we have electricity, clean water, and so on. The executive secretary of COIB, Nyendandumwe Jean-Claude, finds that putting residents at the center of governance changes their perspective and mindset that the government is the provider of everything they need.
What
they're mostly concerned about is the infrastructure that helps them in their development activities. It is then the role of the government to put all that is needed on a priority list for us to know what comes first and what follows. Receiving public opinions on state planning also helps in identifying what needs to be improved in the development of the country, as everything should be based on citizens, according to the Director General in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Mushabe Richard. Currently, we're reviewing and integrating programs that were supposed to be implemented in the NST1 so that we can analyze and know where we are standing, but also go back to the grassroots level and get ideas from citizens. This will continue until early March. The fact that people are involved in national planning also means that the national budget must be used in a way that benefits them, as the Minister of Local Government, Gatabazi Jean-Marie Vianney, explains. The budget reaches citizens in different ways. For some, it's through salaries, payments for services, through programs like Girinka, and in some cases, money is given directly to citizens. For instance, in the Girinka program, thousands of cows are bought every year, and people receive cows instead of liquid cash. That applies to other domestic animals as well. The same is done through job creation programs and so on. Minister Gatabazi also points out that when citizens play their role in the national planning proposal, in turn, it increases their effort towards achieving better standards of living. The reason why the public should be involved in all this is that it gives them an assignment to protect what has been achieved because it belongs to them. You hear them testifying that we asked the President of the Republic for a stadium and we now have it. We asked for a road and it was constructed. We have been lifted from poverty, all indicating the progress they have made. In the country's vision and the 7-year government program, the NST1 plus annual budget, direct activities meant to lift the standards of living of the residents are indicated, plus large development projects that benefit citizens indirectly. Sam Kalisa, Rwanda Television News.
Many thanks, Sam Kalisa, for that report. Now, farmers are asking that programs to promote irrigation, storage, and drying, as well as finding more market crops, be properly supported because they've not been yielding the expected results. Officials at the Rwanda Agriculture Board have meanwhile been urging farmers to consolidate their harvest so that they can better utilize such facilities.
Farmers across the country are now concluding their harvesting activities for the 2022 agricultural season, and some still dry their grain out in the open and store it in their homes. In the other different areas I have traveled to, like the southern province, people have storage facilities, but not here, which is strange. It really surprised me. Cooperatives have, however, discovered the benefits of using such facilities. The drying facilities protect our harvests from developing aflatoxins, and this method is also far more efficient. As for storage facilities, we do not have many here in our sector, but we use what we do have well, because we have a cooperative that does it for us. As for markets, we still don't have enough, and the prices are not yet conducive when you consider how much we invest in our agricultural activities. A Rwanda Governance Board report on the agricultural sector recently highlighted seriously high dissatisfaction rates among farmers when it comes to some of these services and their facilities, with irrigation at 49%, storage and drying at 64.1%, and getting markets for their produce criticized at 44.9%. Local authorities say they are working hard to encourage more farmers to properly use their available facilities instead of just criticizing them. Farmers use the facilities, just not as much as they should, so sensitization efforts have continued to help them understand the importance of modernizing their agricultural practices. We have continued to show them the benefits and are sure that eventually all of them will participate. As for concerns about the security of their harvests at the storage facilities, we have hired guards and also partnered with the organization Tubura to provide sacks for them so that their grain can be properly stored with no problems. Officials at the Rwanda Agriculture Board stress that farmers should join cooperatives to be able to fully exploit the facilities that have been provided.
These are not
the sort of services that will reach every farmer at their farm. They require that farmers consolidate their harvests. Take, for example, the drying machines. They need at least 10 tons of grain to operate efficiently. That means a lone farmer with 200 or 300 kilograms must join a cooperative to be able to use them. Those sorts of facilities are yet to reach all areas, so in areas where they are yet to be established, we have asked farmers to use temporary dryers so that their maize cobs can meet the required standards. Rwanda currently has 518 storage facilities, 886 drying facilities, 45 mobile dryers, and 567 rice drying venues. In 2019, the government invested 13 billion Rwandan francs in such facilities.
So before I sign off for tonight, in honor of World Radio Day, I'd like to honor my colleagues here at from radio here at RBA and all radio presenters across the world who have the power to bring millions of people together and have impacted so many lives. May you, best wishes to you, and may you continue to use your voices to make this world a better place. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you for your company. God bless you and keep you. And until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi.